Welcome everyone to another round of Aerial ESX World Championship. You guys are tuned in to the 450 main event. So thanks everybody for showing up in the stream. Tonight on the gate we have Coco, Dorian, Rubes, Reese, Stone Rider, Gerb, Steez, Troy, Minnie, Morgan, MX Goon, Panda, Aiden, Dad Shoes, another Aiden, Blue, Nightless, Beast. LeMunyon popped in at the last minute, and there is Minnie. Are you guys ready? As always, as it has been the whole season, it is Rubes versus Dad Shoes for the series lead. Can Dad Shoes make up any more points tonight? We're about to find out. The gate is down. Stone Rider with a good start off of the hole shot there. Troy sitting in second, but Rubes trying to make his way up on the inside as quickly as he can. Put himself into the #1 spot, and there he goes. Where is Dad Shoes? Mid-pack. He's going to have to hard charge because his series points contender right now, Rubes, is making a way into first place. Troy gets a good run through the triple section there, as does Rubes. So Stone Rider takes that lead and drops back to third. Troy on the McMonster Kawasaki, another rider who we saw on the LCQ, now sits in the #1 spot. Bar to bar are Rubes and Stone Rider as we come through the whoop section here. Another good run through the rhythm, so we have a three-way battle for the #1 spot. Both Troy and Rubes with a little bit of extra practice in the LCQ, as Troy might have tried to scrub that roller, I'm not sure, but he goes down. So bar to bar is Stone Rider and Rubes once again, as these guys are working on getting their way checked out. Rubes was the #1 qualifying lap time in his session. I don't know about overall. Stone Rider taking the fast line through there, completely launching over that roller into the home stretch. We begin lap #1 officially. Stone Rider still sitting in first. Rubes is in second. Troy in third. MX Goon in fourth. Aiden on the K-Bell Racing Team in fifth. Dorian in sixth. Panda in seventh. Beast in eighth. And Dad Shoes trying to battle his way up here as quickly as he possibly can. But look at the gap here. Your leaders are coming through the over-under bridge right now as Dad Shoes is just entering the sand. So we will take a look in just a little bit and figure out what progress he has made. But right now we're going to stick with this battle for the lead between Rubes and Stone Rider. As Stone Rider makes a little bit of a mistake and goes high on the berm, Rubes has to check up to avoid running into him and falls over. So Troy is now back on Rubes for the second place spot. Rubes not able to get the triple in, so instead he doubles in. Troy does get the fast line through there and makes up the time. So now Troy puts himself back into the #2 position. Both riders with a clean run through the whoop section. Here comes Goon, Aiden, and Dorian in a three-way battle for fourth. LeMunyon now finds himself pushed up. Dad Shoes makes it past all of the riders that he was struggling to get by earlier and should find himself sitting in the 7th place spot. So here we go, guys. The battles are on. The gladiators are fighting in the arena. 17 minutes left on the clock. Let's see what happens. Stone Rider still with a comfortable lead here over Troy and Rubes, but they are still in a heated battle for second place right now. No lap times to discuss at this point. We will have some after this lap is over. Rubes getting a good run through there. I love the camera on this sand section. It's fun to watch. Stone Rider makes a mistake and goes down, or at least makes a bobble, so it is going to be Troy who takes the #1 spot away. So Rubes still finding himself in a battle for second, just can't seem to reclaim that #1 spot. These riders opting to triple single coming into this corner. Let's see if Rubes is going to try to triple in here or if he's going to take the double triple line. Does go for the clean triple, and he gets it. Rubes pressuring Troy hard. He needs to get away from Stone Rider and continue to gap this field. He's looking at a 3-point position gain right now if he makes it past Troy. And every position counts for Rubes right now because he has got to further separate this gap from Dad Shoes, or it's going to be a threat coming into the final rounds of Atlanta. As you can see, Troy is in first, Rubes in second, Stone Rider in third, MX Goon in fourth, and here is Dad Shoes hard charging his way through this pack. So every second that Rubes can't get around Troy is another second that Dad Shoes has to catch up. Dad Shoes working on finding his way around MX Goon now as he dives to the inside, makes his way over the roller, but Goon gets the line to launch it. So Dad Shoes still not able to secure that position yet, but we will check back in as we now see a three-way battle, and Rubes has taken the lead away, so he does take the number one spot. Stone Rider falls, Stone Rider makes his way past Troy in a second, but Troy reclaims that spot now. So Troy sitting in the number 2 spot, Stone Rider falls back to third. Timing and scoring is updating now on the left side of your screen. You'll see just how far these riders are behind. Dad Shoes crosses in fourth, and it looks like he's going to take that position away, but Dorian is trying to pressure him hard as they're both fighting to get around Goon now. So Dad Shoes about 7 seconds back on your race leader Rubes, as these guys are 3 deep coming into the sand. There you see Rubes in the background going over the bridge. Dorian trying to take the inside line on Dad Shoes, but Dad Shoes not having it, railing the outside berm and getting the triple in. He has now caught up to Stone Rider, so Stone Rider still sitting in the 3rd place position, but Dad Shoes is pressuring him hard. Troy still on Rubes for the battle, so we'll flick back and forth here between these two. Already a quarter of this race is gone. 14 minutes left on the clock. Rubes already in the whoop section here. As you can see, Dad Shoes is just now landing off of the Supercross triple. So Dad Shoes has worked his way up through the pack past riders that he is accustomed to beating, and now he is staring at the riders that he is accustomed to battling with. So if he is going to make his way up to Rubes, it's going to be hard. He's going to have to do it quick, and he's going to have to potentially do it aggressively. Not dirty necessarily, but he needs to figure out a way around, and he needs to figure out a way right now. Stone Rider has won a few of these aerial rounds, so certainly not an easy rider to just pass straight up. Troy catching up to Rubes here. Let's go on board with Troy as he is in a battle for the lead with Rubes. Just get a first-person perspective of what it's like to be in the front of an aerial 450 main event. The line choice they're taking, maybe we can learn a few things here. So something has happened to Stone Rider as he fell back to the 4th place position, and he has cutting penalties, I believe, as timing and scoring is putting him in 6th. But nevertheless, Dad Shoes has made his way around and now has a free track in front of him with nothing on his sights except for Troy and Rubes. If we take a look at lap times here, you can see that Rubes' fastest lap was a 141.3, Troy a 141.2, Dad Shoes a 140.8. So he has turned the heat on here and is trying to catch up, running about a half second faster than Rubes, but he's going to have to figure out something because that amount of time is going to cut it close if he keeps it clean towards the end of the race. If Dad Shoes can be one of, if not the only rider to dip into the sub-140s here during the main event, then he will have plenty of time, I think, to catch up to Rubes. But he is praying for Rubes' downfall right now, hoping for a mistake, but Rubes is in a battle with Troy, so he is purely focused right now. Troy makes a mistake after the double there and hits a tough block, so that slows him up. He manages to keep it up on 2 wheels, but he still falls back, so that allows Rubes to gap him even further, make him more comfortable, and that's not what Dad Shoes wants. Uh-oh, something must have happened between Dad Shoes and Stone Rider because they get into it and lose 2 spots immediately. Goon goes by, Dorian goes by, so Dad Shoes now falls back to the 5th place position. Tragedy has struck here somehow. I don't know if Dad Shoes crashed and then Stone Rider landed into him, or if Stone Rider caught up and they collided in the air. But nevertheless, Rubes is checking out even further, so he's looking to spread those points out. Dad Shoes getting a good run through this section and makes it back by Goon. Dorian still sitting in the 3rd place spot, as we mentioned, and something must have happened because Rubes has now fallen back out of the lead, and we have a new race leader. Troy on the McMonster Kawasaki now moves his way up into the number 1 spot. Go back on board with Rubes here as he is trying to hunt back down. Oh no, Rubes makes a big mistake and goes down in the rhythm section. So here comes Dorian in third. Dad Shoes makes a mistake as well. So both of our series points leaders and contenders here are having some trouble on this track. I personally found this track to be a little bit harder than Atlanta 1. Certainly it was hard for me to put down a clean lap without crashing in some spot. There are just a couple of places that are tricky. Now, I am nowhere near the caliber of riders that these guys are, but still, I mean, if it's trickier for me, it's got to be trickier for them somehow. So Dad Shoes falling all the way back here to 6th, unfortunately. Check back in on the lead as Troy still sits in the number 1 spot. Rubes with a 6-second gap behind. Just under 10 minutes left, so we are still only halfway through this main. So yeah, 8 seconds is what Dad Shoes lost off of his fastest lap time because of the incident that occurred on that last lap. So man, he's got to go. Let's check back in the field here. Stone Rider is in 5th, Dad Shoes in 6th. Beast on the 180 decals is sitting in 7th. Reese with the Bud Racing Honda team and your 3rd place rider in the series points is in 8th. Aiden is in 9th, and it's Panda on the Sky Motorsports who rounds out your top 10. LeMunion is here, Morgan is here, Jones and Minnie, as well as Coco and Aiden. Nightless in the back with Blue and Gerb. And that is the full lobby here, guys. So Troy coming through these rollers here, looking for the big double. Rubes has fallen back and fallen back hard as he is now being pressured by Dorian in the 3rd place spot. Stone Rider has exited the rhythm section and is looking to hunt them down as he comes over the roller, the big roller into the smaller rollers. Here is Goon and here is Dad Shoes. As Dad Shoes almost makes another mistake and goes down, but manages to keep it up on 2 wheels. Has to minimize those. Dorian now pressuring Rubes for the number 2 spot. Let's go on board. Rubes gets a good drive around the wall there and is able to make the pass back on Dorian. Dorian gets the triple where Rubes does not. Both of these riders currently showcasing the differing line choices that are available on this track. And Dorian is laying into it right now, doing everything he can to catch Rubes. Wants to put Rubes in the rear view and take the number 2 spot and try to hunt down Stone Rider for the win as he gets a good drive through the whoops. They almost collide. That could have been very, very bad for both of them. Rubes makes a mistake and hits a tough block, gets slowed up, so there goes Dorian back to the... No, they are staying bar to bar as Rubes pushes wide. Almost pushes Dorian off track, but he manages to keep it up on 2 wheels, so Rubes trying to take his line and take it aggressively. He wants to get out of this battle as quick as he possibly can. All the meanwhile, Troy is ahead of them, just cleanly checking out as he has a 10-second gap on this battle. So let's go back here and check for Stone Rider, who is sitting in 4th, and Dad Shoes in 5th. As you can see, Troy has exited the sand section as Rubes and Dorian are just now entering it. So we have an intense battle going on for 2nd place, you guys. Losing this position would mean losing another 2 points if Dorian is able to get by, and here he goes. He does make a pass in the double-triple section before the bridge, but they get into it bar to bar again over the wall jump, or over the bridge there, rather. Man, these guys are just going back and forth. Rubes choosing to triple-single there. Dorian choosing to double-double. Prior to that, Rubes has been double after the sand section, whereas Dorian is triple doubling. So their line choices are alternating, but it's showing that you can be fast as long as you keep it, you know, consistent and hit the sections correctly. So Dorian really trying to push onto Rubes here. Getting into lap traffic now. We will see how this fares out as Gerb is getting the blue flags and pulls off track. Thank you, Gerb. The leaders are coming through as Dorian is trying to take the inside line here. No, not able to get it. He was not yet in the attack position range. Far back in the distance, you can see Stone Rider is about a full rhythm lane behind these guys, as well as Dad Shoes. Beast battling with Goon now. But I still can't take my eyes off of this battle between Dorian and Rubes. Dorian almost makes a big mistake there and misses the front wheel on the double, but he manages to drop it back down and hit it cleanly. Rubes runs away a little bit in that sand section, but this is what I'm talking about. Dorian always takes this wide and triples in, whereas Rubes is choosing to double, so Dorian makes up a little bit of time there every lap. And already, look how much time this battle has consumed, as there is only 4 minutes plus 1 lap left in this race. Dad Shoes back here trying to pressure Stone Rider and make a pass on him. His hopes of catching up to Dorian and to Rubes is dwindling away as he is battling with Stone Rider now. Dad Shoes getting a good drive through the whoops, not able to take the inside line. He manages to follow Stone Rider, can't get up onto the table, has to alter his line choice, and it's going to slow him down. So just like that, what was a battle can become another gap that you have to overcome. But Rubes still holds on to the second place spot. Dorian has not gone anywhere. A single mistake from Rubes, and I don't even mean a crash, just a bobble, could allow Dorian to move up in front of him and cause Rubes even more problems as he is trying to hunt down the #1 spot of Troy. And oh, as I say that, Troy makes a mistake in this section and hands the lead back to Rubes. Rubes takes a look behind him to see what's going on, and 3 more points just like that. So Rubes back into the #1 spot. Dorian sits in second. Troy in third now as Stone Rider comes across the finish line in 4th and Dad Shoes in 5th. So a new race leader as Rubes has finally reclaimed his throne on the top spot. 2.5 minutes left. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Let's not forget about our #3 rider in the point series, Reese, as he is back here battling with MX Goon for the 6th place spot. Dad Shoes finally makes his way around Stone Rider into the 3rd place position. So even if he's not able to catch up to Rubes, or into the 4th place spot, I'm sorry. Even if he's not able to catch up to Rubes, he certainly needs to do the best that he can. Click off as many gears as possible, capture as many positions as possible, earn as many points as possible, and minimize the damage that Rubes is going to cause here by finishing in the 1st place position. Troy up front, currently sitting in 3rd. Dorian still in 2nd. So as you can see, we'll go to free roam cam here for just a second, and you can see the gap that Rubes is starting to put down on these guys. Here he is landing the double. Behind him is Dorian. So that'll probably be about a 4 to 5 second gap. And Dad Shoes is finally starting to catch Troy, but here comes Stone Rider, not about to let this one go. So we'll see. We'll see if there's any team tactics that come into play as well, as Dad Shoes and Troy are teammates. Something tells me that they're probably both deafened in a Discord call right now and not communicating with each other. As Troy makes a mistake, I think he hits the... he either tucked the front into a roller there and went down, or he might have clipped a tough block. But nevertheless, 2 more points for Dad Shoes as he moves up into a new position around Troy and now sets his sights on Dorian. With just 45 seconds left on the clock plus 1 lap, is it possible for Dad Shoes to catch up to Dorian and take 2 more points home and minimize the damage that Rubes could cause if he wins this thing? We're going to find out. Troy now falls back to 5th as Stone Rider currently still sits in 4th. So let's check lap times again, as Dad Shoes still has not been able to recapture his fastest lap on the track, which was a 140. He is sitting in the 143s. Dorian with a 150 last lap, a 142 as his fastest. Rubes the closest to running his fastest, as his last was a 143, his fastest a 141. So I believe Dad Shoes is probably still the fastest rider on this track right now, but he has yet to repeat that in the main event since lap number 2. Dorian gets a good drive through the whoops and is trying to push up onto Dad Shoes and make a move, but Dad Shoes still holding on. Gets a good run through the rhythm section here. So Rubes is in the number 1 spot. Dad Shoes has made his way around Dorian and is sitting in the 2nd place position. So the white flag is about to be waved for your race leader, Rubes. 1 lap to go here, about 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in this race. Dad Shoes needs to just forget about what's happening behind him, even though I know he can hear that KTM or that gas of Dorian's barking right now. Needs to try to catch up to Rubes as fast as he possibly can. White flag battle for the 2nd place position between Dorian and Dad Shoes as Dorian gets a good drive through these doubles here, makes a pass, tries to cut off Dad Shoes' line. Here we go, bar to bar through the sand section. Dad Shoes is going to dive to the inside. Cooper Webb and Roxon right here, but he makes a mistake and tucks the front end. The front end goes down and he loses positions to Dorian and to Stone Rider and to Troy. Immediately tragedy strikes as Dad Shoes goes down and loses 3 positions in the blink of an eye. Big F's in chat, boys. Big F's in chat. Man, my disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined as Dad Shoes falls back to 5th. So it is going to be Rubes who sits in the number 1 spot, and at this point it looks like he is all but home free to take the checkers here at Atlanta 2. Yeah, Rubes is going to take himself a nice lead going into Atlanta 3. As your race leader on the MXB Mods KTM, Rubes takes the checkered flag. Here comes Dorian in 2nd place. There you go. Stone Rider completely launching it as Troy takes 4th and Dad Shoes in 5th. We're looking at Reese Cooper here on the Bud Racing Honda as he is working his way through the final stretch to take home a 6th place spot. Oh, as he gets slow physics, starts to swap there, fishtails a little bit in the rollers and goes down, and Goon is going to make a pass on the last lap up into 6th place spot. So just like that, Reese falls back to 7th. And unless Goon has cuts, which he does not, Reese does fall back to 7th. It's going to be Beast on the 180 decals ride who takes home the 8th place spot. Aiden is going to come across the finish line in 9th. And LeMunyon with the Wicked Racing team will come across and round out your top 10. Man, what a crazy ride there. Morgan comes across in 11th, Mini in 12th, FXR Aiden in 13th, Jones in 14th, Panda in 15th. Coco looks like he's going to round out number 16, Gerb in 17th. Nightless having some drama there that I saw in chat with Blue in 18th and 19th, and I think Steez decided to call it quits shortly after the race began. So remember, guys, official results on the evening are Rubes in first, Dorian in second, Stone Rider in third, Troy in fourth, and after a tragic next to last lap, or last lap rather, Dad Shoes crosses